Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for coming in today. This is the Start U of G course selection session. We have a couple great, amazing advisors here that are going to help support you as we go through this process. We also have a Q&A function. So if you have any questions, you can type them into the chat and we'll be sure to answer them. And we're going to get started. So before we start, just a reminder that this session is for the Bachelor of Computing degree with a major in computer science, optional co-op, software engineering, optional co-op, and the Bachelor of Computing general degree. If you don't fall into any of those categories, it's okay. We recommend that you log off, go to the Start U of G website, and then find the session that is specifically for your program. Each program has some different pieces, and we don't want to give you the wrong information. So hopefully you're here in the right one. So the Bachelor of Computing degree major in computer science, optional co-op, software engineering, optional co-op, or the Bachelor of Computing general degree. So what we're going to be covering off today is we'll start with a land acknowledgement. We'll go over some common terms in course selection. We'll talk about the registration guide for new students. We'll also have an overview of how you actually use WebAdvisor. That's a term you'll hear a lot in this session. And then we'll also chat about academic advising at U of G, course selection for transfer students, an international student reminder, and then a bit of a frequently asked questions section. But as I mentioned, if anything we're covering triggers something and you want to ask a question, just pop it in the Q&A section. So we'd like to acknowledge with great respect the University of Guelph resides on the traditional lands of the Haudenosaunee and Anishinaabe peoples and the treaty lands of the Mississaugas of the Credit. We recognize that today this gathering place is home to many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit peoples, and acknowledge them reminds us of our relationship to this land and where we all learn and grow. The University of Guelph is going to be somewhere that you'll spend a decent chunk of time over the next couple of years. So we really recommend that you get to know and understand the land. The University has a really great website about the land and acknowledging the land that Nate has dropped into the chat for you, and you can access at any time. So my name is Ian Carney. I use he, him pronouns. I'm the coordinator of the Peer Helper program and part of the START team. And our job is really to help you transition to your first year at U of G and help you be successful when you come on campus. And then I'm also here with my colleague, Nate, who I'll let introduce himself.
Hi everyone, I'm Nate and I am part of the START orientation team. So I run events over the summer, help you get ready for fall, and looking forward to seeing everyone at O Week. And I'm also in the Bachelor of Computing program.
So we have a current computing student, which is pretty cool, right? Not all the sessions get their own student. So now I'm going to throw it over to our academic advising team, Greg and Sarah, and Greg will be taking over from here on in.
Thank you, Ian. And thank you very much for joining and for watching this video. My name is Greg Klotz. I am an academic advisor for the Bachelor of Computing program. My background is in computer science. I finished a Bachelor of Science in Applied Computer Science from Ryerson Polytechnic University and did a master's and doctorate of computer science at the University of Guelph. Sarah Brennan is also an advisor for Bachelor of Computing. Her background is in Bachelor of Arts and Master of Arts. And we are both here to support you with all your academic questions, concerns, and possibly comments. The best way generally to reach us is through our email address, cscounts@uofguelph.ca, and then we can go from there. So academic advising at the University of Guelph. Sarah and I are academic advisors, so why would you want to talk with us? Why would you want to see us? What can we help you with? Generally, any kind of academic question you have, please feel free to reach out to us as soon as you see something that's concerning or you're unsure about or something you see that's wrong. So anytime any kind of academic type questions come up, let us know. Or also if you're in an unusual situation where your academics might be impacted by something and you're not sure where to go, you're not sure how to ask for help, you're not sure who to ask for help, we can be your first point of contact for that as well. And what to prepare for before connecting. Academic advisors support many students, so about 1,000 students per advisor. So especially during busy times like right now, it's very helpful when you're connecting with us to share what kind of a problem or challenge you're experiencing so that we can respond as quick as possible and make sure that you're having the information that you need as soon as possible. So when you're connecting with us, please do be specific as much as you can be on what kind of a challenge or unexpected situation you have so that we can help you. If it's very vague, we will still try to help you. It's just going to be a bit of a back and forth possibly, and that will take time, which is not in your best interests during busy times like course selection, where things are changing super fast. How to find academic advisor information. I think hopefully somebody will post this into the chat. You also have this as part of your course selection guide and how to select courses that the university sent you. And you also have the cscounts@yourgolf.ca that you can email. There are also faculty advisors. For computing right now, the faculty advisor is me. I think that's going to change in the near future, but every subject at the university has a faculty advisor. Faculty advisors are usually professors who do research and teaching in that area. So for example, you might be connecting with them if you're doing a minor. So if you're doing a minor in, say, accounting will have a professor who teaches accounting, does research in accounting, and also supports students with the accounting majors and minors. So at that point, if you have specific questions about the accounting minor, they would be your best point of contact. How to find faculty advisor information, similar, I think someone will post a link into the chat. And if not, we can always help you find the person and connect you. So course selection, this is probably why you're here, why you're watching this video. Course selection is a busy time, I think, for everyone, including you as the students. Please plan ahead as much as you can. So you can log into WebAdvisor now, and you can view available courses, sections, and start planning the schedule that works for you. Try to be flexible when you're doing this, if possible. When you're making your schedules, plan for courses rather than specific sections. The sections can fill up quickly, so it's good for you to be somewhat flexible with which section you're going to register in. And I think we'll cover this in the next few slides, but sections meaning there might be one course like CIS 1300. That's your introductory programming course. It might have one lecture section, but it might have 12 or 15 lab sections. So the lecture section will be the same time for the lectures for everyone in the class, but the computer lab times will be different. So some sections might be full by the time you get there, while others may be open. So it's important for you to be able to register in the course because it's a required course for you, but you might have to choose a lab time that wasn't maybe your first choice. It might be your second or third choice. As long as it works conflict-free in your schedule, that's a perfectly fine lab time to be in. Wait lists are available. So WebAdvisor, once course registration opens, you can choose to register in courses or you can choose to wait list in a course. Waitlists generally only do that for an elective that you're thinking, well, maybe this looks like a nice elective. It's full. I would like to take it. I will waitlist for that elective. If it's a required course for your degree, the Bachelor Computing degree, and you can't get into it, Sarah and I would like to know that as soon as that happens so that we can help you manage that situation. Because for the required courses, you need to get into it. So only waitlist for your required courses if there's no other option. So there's no sections that have space that could possibly work for you. And if that happens, please let Sarah and I know as soon as that happens so we can check to see what options there are. Common terms in course selection, yay. Course selection windows. So the university does gently over time open course selection windows, starting usually with the students who are close to graduation, going down to first year students later on in the course selection period. So do double check to see when your course selection window will open. For example, varsity athletes might have an early course selection window to make sure they have a course schedule that works with their practice times. Or you might have transfer credits as an external transfer student, so your course selection window will be somewhat unique to your situation, but generally it's done by credits. So how many credits do you have at the time of course registration? That usually determines your course selection window. Credits, most courses at the University of Guelph, and this gets a bit confusing, but it will be okay, are 0.5 credits. So 0.5 credit is a normal, regular course, usually about 3 hours of lecture, 2 hours of lab or seminar each week, plus assignments and self-study on your own. So roughly 10 hours a week that you'll be spending on each 0.5 credit course. And there are also some courses that are 1 credit or 0.75 credits, 0.25 credits, but those are fairly rare, but they do exist. In computing, we used to have 0.75 credit courses, but those have been redesigned now, so they're all 0.5 credits. Part-time studies and full-time studies. This can also get a little bit confusing. Generally, I don't think most students pay too much attention to this, and the confusion comes from there's academic full-time and part-time, and then it can be like OSAP full-time and part-time, and sometimes they're the same and sometimes not. So this session is entirely focused on academics. So academic full-time is 1.5 credits or more. Academic part-time is 1.5 credit, less than 1.5 credits. And this is just to determine if you're a full-time or a part-time student academically. Your fees, your OSAP, other factors are a consideration on top of this. So you'll have to sort of check into that yourself a little bit. And also your schedule of studies assumes that students are completing 2.5 credits each academic semester. So the degree does take 4 years, assuming you're completing 5 courses in the fall, 5 courses in the winter for 8 semesters. Academic perspective, students can study at their own pace sometimes. So if you're doing less than that, that could be okay, but you will be extending graduation. So if you are thinking about taking less than 5 courses each academic semester, please do check in with Sarah and me just to make sure that your plan is going to work, it's going to be feasible, and so that we can connect you with other resources at the university so that you can ask questions about OSAP or your student fees or other factors that are non-academic. And then electives, you will all have a chance to take some electives that are just completely up to you. So those will be courses that you're just interested in, just for your own fun and interest outside of computing, and you'll get to take some of those. Undergraduate calendar. So undergraduate calendar will include all university policies and procedures, as well as information on programs we offer and a full list of course offerings by subject to help you to look for electives. If you're feeling bored sometime, feel free to skim through the academic calendar. It does have many good policies and rules and regulations that are there to make sure that the university runs in an organized way, and it's mostly for your students, your benefit. But you don't have to. So Sarah and I know the calendar fairly well. If you run into any kind of trouble or you have any question, we'll be able to help you, and we will help you find the right section of the calendar and explain those policies for you. Schedule of dates. These are important dates organized by semester. So when does the semester start? When is the first day of classes? When is the last day of classes? When do exams end? When can you still drop courses? These are all on the academic calendar. And WebAdvisor is the system that you will use for course selection, viewing your progress within the degree, checking your tuition bill, and applying for graduation once you get there. Registration guide. So hopefully you all have access to this already, but just in case, there's a link. It includes the details for your courses for first semester and the second semester, information on selecting courses, finding resources, exploring financial aid options, and paying your fees. WebAdvisor. So WebAdvisor is a website. It's a very responsive website. It can be a little bit confusing at first. Sometimes I feel like it could be a little bit more user-friendly, but it is very functional and it works very well. So it's an online platform where you will be planning, selecting, registering in your courses. It's very helpful for both you and Sarah and me as your academic advisors if you plan out your courses. WebAdvisor will let you plan out your courses from this fall all the way to graduation if you would like it to. And in many ways, I suggest that you do at some point in the near future plan out your degree from this fall to graduation. And you can make changes as you go. They're not registration. The plan is not registered. So when you're planning courses, they are there. You can see them. WebAdvisor will give you cautions or errors if you're planning courses when they're not offered, or if you're planning courses that you don't have the prerequisites for, so you haven't passed the courses that you need to pass before you take them. So it's very helpful for that. It's very helpful for making sure that you're going to be able to meet all your graduation requirements. And then once registration opens, don't just plan, but actually go and register in specific sections of the courses you need and want. And then your plan will keep getting updated as you get closer and closer to graduation, and your progress bar by the end should be fully green and you'll graduate. So there are some videos that we're going to skip in the interest of time. They're very, very important videos because, again, WebAdvisor is not the most intuitive software. So at some point, these will be in the chat. These are on the course selection websites. These videos are fairly easy to access. At some point, you're going to want to watch these videos while you're using WebAdvisor. So there's videos on how to register for courses, videos on how to plan for courses. So I think it will be best if when you have half an hour or so in the next couple of days, if you can watch these videos while having WebAdvisor open, being logged in, and follow along on WebAdvisor to plan your courses and to get ready for course registration. Because rather than watching the videos now, I think it's best for you to watch these videos while actively using WebAdvisor to get to learn the systems. Okay, getting into very computing specific details now. So if you're here and you're watching this video, hopefully you're in one of these slides. So if you're a computer science major, this is part of the Bachelor Computing degree. So everyone, oops, everyone here is getting a Bachelor Computing degree. That's your goal. And within that, your major is computer science. Regardless if you're in co-op or not, the courses are the same. So in the fall, you will take CIS 1300, Intro to Programming, CIS 1910, Discrete Math, Math 1200 Calculus, and 2 electives of your choice. In the winter, CIS 2500, Programming, CIS 2910, the second Discrete Math, Math 1160, it's just linear algebra, 2 electives. And this is where if you are in co-op, you will take the 0 credit co-op 1100 course. It's pass-fail course. There's no grade for it, but you have to pass that course to stay in co-op. Software engineering major, very similar. And just to double check at this point, software engineering major is a Bachelor Computing degree major at the University of Guelph. You are not graduating as an engineer or as a professional engineer of Ontario. So this is software engineering major within the Bachelor of Computing. In the fall, you will take CIS 1250, Software Design 1, CIS 1300 and 1910, same as the computer science majors. You'll have 2 electives of your choice. In the winter, CIS 2500, Math 1160, 3 electives, and the co-op course if you are in co-op. Electives. So let's pause for a second and talk about electives. One of your sources of electives is going to be the required area of emphasis. So all students in Bachelor Computing for honors, so honors computer science or software engineering, have to complete an area of emphasis as part of your graduation requirements. Now there are 4 options: data science, user experience, design, cybersecurity, or artificial intelligence. So again, completing one of those is a graduation requirement, depending on if you're in co-op or not and which one of these you choose. Some can take up to 8 semesters to complete, which is why the planning on WebAdvisor is so important. Some are very flexible. I think the most flexible one from a graduation perspective is user experience design. It has many options for electives. So if you don't start that in first year, you would be fine. But if you're in co-op and you're choosing like data science, then you might need the 8 semesters just to take the introductory courses in first year, then the mid-level courses in second and third year, and then the fourth year courses once you're in fourth year. So you do want to start planning these out. I know you already have chosen your computer science or software engineering major. So the next part of course selection for you is to start looking at these areas of emphasis and thinking about which one you would like to do. Take a look at their courses. Some of them have more math, some of them have less math, some of them are a bit more theoretical, some of them are more applied. Think about which one you would like to take and start planning for when you will start taking these. It is fairly important for you to choose one now and start in the fall. If it turns out you don't like it, or if it turns out it's too math heavy or not math heavy enough, it will be possible to change it later as well. Just that at some point it might extend your graduation. And again, user experience is the most flexible. So if you start something or you don't start something fairly soon, then I think by default in second or third year, user experience will be your only option without delaying graduation. So if you're thinking of the other ones, data science, cybersecurity, and artificial intelligence, do take a look at those courses because you do want to start taking some of those math and stats courses that are the foundations for those areas of emphasis, possibly starting in first semester. The general degree. So some of you might be in this now, and some of you might want to be in this later. This is a 3-year degree. It doesn't have a major, so no computer science or software engineering. It doesn't have a minor. It doesn't have co-op, and it doesn't have an area of emphasis either. But it's still a foundation of computer science, except without the 4th-year specializations. And you're thinking, well, why are we looking at this now? One, some of you might be in this because you chose to be, which is great. And the Bachelor of Computing general degree is 3 years, it's fast, but it does give you a very good foundation in computing. And the other reason students might go into this is sometimes students are in co-op, computer science or software engineering, they're excelling, they're doing really well in school, high grades, really good co-op experiences. And one of their co-op employers that they really like to work for says, we'd like to hire you full time. When can you start? And so I have seen students sort of leave the honors degree and graduate as soon as they can, just so they can start working for the company that they like to work with, and that the general degree becomes an option for that. For these, you're taking very similar courses, whether you're in computer science or software engineering, except you could also take some optional electives, CIS 1050, web design, and CIS 2170 user experience design. Those are required courses for the general degree, and these would be optional electives if you're in computer science or software engineering. We do have an academic advising website. We keep this updated during course selection. So as you're emailing, phoning, dropping by, and we're talking with you, connecting with you, we can get a good sense of what you're experiencing and what kind of questions you have and what kind of challenges there are that are preventing you from course selecting or from making progress academically. So as we come across those, we will keep the website up to date with the changes that we are seeing and with the kind of questions we are receiving. So please do be checking this once in a while, especially during course selection, because you might be able to find your answer on this website faster than if you email us or call us or drop by, because it's something that other students have already experienced and we have a solution for it. And so you'll be able to find the solution very quickly. Course selection for transfer students. So especially if you're an external or transfer student, this does usually require a meeting, just because you will have external transfer credits. You might not be starting in first semester or first year, or you might be. It's very it depends on your circumstances and your transfer credits. So if this is you, please do reach out to us, cscounts@uguelph.ca. Let us know you are an external transfer student and ask us for course selection help, because for you, there's no standard one-off answer. You will all be in unique situations with unique transfer credits. So we will help you to plan. Definitely connect with us as soon as you possibly can, because it's going to take a little bit of planning on our end and your end to make sure that you're ready for course selection. Transfer credits for high school courses. This does happen. IB, AP, advanced levels. I don't see too much of this. This is mostly between you and admissions. The main thing that I see this affecting students is if you get the transfer credit now or before course selection, it might change your course selection window to be slightly different. And it might give you the option to take one less course possibly. And so instead of taking 5 courses one semester, you might choose to take 4. But if you're not sure, or if you don't have the transfer credit yet, and you might get the transfer credit sometime later on, it is completely fine for you to be taking 5 courses, registering normally with the 0 credits, same as all the other students, and you should still be okay. For selection for international students, so Sarah and I are academic advisors. We are not international student advisors. We do have international student advisors at the university. They are excellent. They support students very well. Sometimes we will connect with them on your behalf or with you. Sometimes we will refer you to them. They are the experts on all things for international students, your visa, your student permit, what are the rules, how do you apply for postgraduate work permit, all those things. They're constantly changing. Sarah and I do not advise on this at all. But if you need help or you're thinking about how do my academics affect my international student status, you're welcome to connect with us, flag that that's the concern, flag that you are an international student, because we don't always see that either. We will usually connect you with the international advisors so that they can give you the most up-to-date, correct information on what kind of rules there are right now for you for postgraduate work permit and student eligibility and working off campus, all those things. We cannot keep track of the changes, but they are excellent and they do. So we will connect you as needed. Important dates and deadlines. So June 15 has passed. So hopefully you have paid your deposit and it's there. You should be able to see that on WebAdvisor now. July 9th, 1 p.m. is course selection for most of you. So if you have 0 credits and you're coming into Bachelor Computing, that is your window. Generally double check these things as you go. Sometimes WebAdvisor and course selection information is changed on the fly based on circumstances. Maybe there's a system outage, maybe something happens. Things do change, but right now, if you're coming into Bachelor Computing with 0 credits, your course selection window looks to be July 9th at 1 p.m. Please try to be logged in and ready for that. Expect there to be like an online line that gives you a random waiting time, so that the system can manage the load. Hopefully, if it works out, and again, if it doesn't, let me know and we will help. Late July semester will be posted on WebAdvisor, and then fall September 18th, the fall semester payment deadline will be, but you will be here and in classes by then. So FAQs, frequently asked questions. Please feel free to post them into the Q&A. I will go to the Q&A in a minute. I think Sarah's behind the scenes there as well, so answering questions, but any questions I will anonymously share for the recording as well. But
We
there are
do have
some
a
in the,
couple questions
yeah.
in the chat, Greg.
Okay.
One is if I got accepted into computer science and wanted to switch to computer engineering after first year, am I allowed to take computer engineering courses for the first year since they're in the same school?
Okay. So if you're in Bachelor of Computing now, you'd like to be in Bachelor of Engineering later, you'd want to be connecting with admissions at the university, because that's the only way that could be possible. If it's I don't know if it's going to be feasible or not. The Bachelor of Engineering is a different college and a different degree completely. So there's no sort of like commonalities between things. Um, that's a hard question to answer live. Sorry, I'm gonna need a
No,
second.
that's okay.
No,
I
no,
will
no,
just.
no, 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 I'm good with it. It
Sarah
comes up
also just
it comes
answered
up
it
fair.
as
No,
you
I
were
like it.
answering it.
Yeah, it comes up a fair bit. So you're
Yeah.
looking to change your degree. So changing degrees is always through admissions. Um, you are admitted to a degree, you accept that specific degree, it's possible for you to change that degree, but it's not an easy process. So to change your degree, whether you're going to Bachelor of Engineering or Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science or Bachelor of Commerce, it's a change of degree and it's an admissions process. So if you're not sure who to connect with, by all means, again, like we can be first point of contact. You don't have to know all the details. We will connect you with admissions and send you the admission website, but it's not as easy as you just deciding to take courses for that degree. Because you're not in that degree and they might be restricted, and engineering would be restricted, similar to how computing courses would also be restricted for the most part for computing students, to ensure that students can get into it. So that's a challenging change. Please connect with us at cscouns@uofgolf.ca and we'll give you the right information.
Okay, there's two more in there, but I'll let Sarah answer them because as you were answering that one, Sarah's answer popped into the chat, so you
Okay.
two were perfectly aligned.
We
So,
can look at the FAQs on the slides, and then I'll go into the questions to see if there's anything I want to have for the recording. So how many credits should I take in a semester? Usually 2.5. So usually you'll be taking 5 courses in an academic semester. And if you're in co-op, you would be taking the co-op 0.5 credits while you're on a work term. So 2.5 credits per semester for 8 semesters. If everything goes well, you graduate in 4 years, 5 with co-op. Academic perspective, you're welcome to take less, but it will extend graduation, and it will also possibly affect your OSAP, your scholarships, your bursaries, and international student status. How do I know what electives to take? So you know your required courses. Take a look at the areas of emphasis, because those are like mandatory electives that you'll have to choose from. So pick one. And then beyond that, once you have sort of your area of emphasis figured out and your required courses and your 3rd and 4th year computer science electives figured out, you will have some number of free electives, free in the sense that they can be any course that interests you that you can register for. It likely won't be something like engineering. You won't be able to register for engineering. You probably won't be able to register for some electives that are program specific, but anything that you can register for on WebAdvisor would be a fine elective to take, as long as you're keeping in mind your required courses for computing, as well as the areas of emphasis. Whatever required course says it's full, then that's sort of an emergency situation on the academic side. So if you do have a required course that is full and you've been forced to go onto the wait list, please email cscounts@ugolf.ca, Sarah and me. Look at your course selection guide, find our contact information, call us, whatever you need to do. But that's sort of an emergency situation, and we need to know about that as soon as you do. It shouldn't, hopefully it will not happen. Why is a course restricted? A course can be restricted to specific programs or majors or semester levels or credits completed, to make sure that the students who need that course to make progress towards graduation can register in those courses. And the example there is some of the computer science courses are restricted, so that you as computing students have a chance to register in them and not find that the course is full. And some other programs will also have this. Wow.
so just
Um,
looking in the chat, there are a
okay.
couple more questions. I think Sarah's gotten to most of them.
I will see if anything is good for the recording. Um, very specific. Very specific. There's a good question about the area of emphasis again, so good clarity on it. So the area of emphasis is a specialization that you choose to take beyond your computer science or software engineering major. Those courses were handpicked by the professors to give you the foundation in artificial intelligence or data science, or one of the 4 areas of emphasis that you could be interested in. And it's required for you to complete one of them. Some are very specific in terms of like, here are 8 courses. You have to take these 8 courses. Some are mostly 3rd and 4th year courses, so you won't be able to start those just yet. But some of them are fairly flexible, where you have some history or philosophy or psychology courses early on that you can take as restricted electives towards that area of emphasis. So that's why it's important for you to start planning now. But it's an extra specialization beyond your major and beyond your major. So you'll have your degree, which is Bachelor Computing, your major, computer science or software engineering, your area of emphasis in artificial intelligence, for example. And then if you want to get very fancy, you could also possibly do a minor in something like accounting or business or biology or music. Some of those would take very, very careful planning and possibly an extra semester, but those are all specializations you can achieve. How does the student planning section benefit the student beyond providing visual overview of their 4-year academic? That having a visual overview of your 4-year academic journey is very helpful in and of itself. And the other helpful thing is Sarah and I can see your plan on WebAdvisor. So we can log into WebAdvisor and see what you have planned. So that way, if you're connecting with us and say, hey, I have a question about this semester, I'm not sure this is going to work, we have good clarity on what you're planning. So it's much nicer to see those things on WebAdvisor than on like a piece of paper or an Excel spreadsheet, because WebAdvisor will double check behind the scenes for you that the course is offered in the semester that you're planning it. And if something changes, maybe the course offering changes by the time you get to 4th year, WebAdvisor will catch that change for you. So it's constantly double checking your plan behind the scenes to make sure that the courses you're planning are offered when you plan to take them. It's making sure that you're taking the required courses by the time you get there. And it's also checking that if something changes, maybe a course gets added or deleted or changed in some way, it will catch that change for you, so then you can replan. And it's also very helpful, again, for us behind the scenes when we're doing academic advising, because we can clearly see, okay, you're planning to do that elective there. And if anything changes, we can flag that for you. Any other questions for the recording? Ooh, some of the electives don't have any sections available when I'm trying to plan them out. When will they be available? This is one of those things. Course selection is starting very soon, but even during course selection, once it starts, things will change. Courses will be updated. New sections, new lab sections, new lecture sections could even be added. So do be flexible and check things as course selection goes, because things are going to constantly change for the next couple of weeks. Next couple of weeks, courses could even change up until sort of like the first day of classes, and sometimes even during or the first week of classes, a location might change or a class might get larger. So it's going to be constant change from here on out until early September. Can you do your course selection from somewhere far away? Yes, as long as you have internet access, as long as you can log into the university systems, yes, you can do course selection from anywhere. It has been made somewhat more challenging because for security, everyone logging into university systems has to be able to multi-factor authenticate. So as long as you can multi-factor authenticate, you should be able to do course selection from anywhere. And for multi-factor, from experience, it's probably best to use the app that gives you the codes rather than getting text messages, because the app is more reliable from working from anywhere in the world. Okay, not seeing any more questions. Thank you very much for joining us. And again, we are here to support you academically, and other ways too. Like, so if you're lost and you're just not sure where to go for help, we can connect you with counseling services or a doctor or a psychiatrist or a faculty advisor or sort of whoever seems like the most helpful person for your situation. So if you're not sure where to go, especially academically, please connect with us as soon as you can. Let us know what the challenge, problem, concern is, and we will help you.
Thanks, Greg. So I just want to say thank you to Greg and Sarah for all the amazing advice and support. If you do have any questions around where this will be recorded or orientation in general, visit our new student website, startufg.ca. That's where we'll have the recording up. And then you can also email us at start@uofguelph.ca. So even if you have a question, you're not really sure where to start, email us to start. It's pretty easy. And then you can follow us all on social media. We're really excited that you're coming to the University of Guelph. We're really excited to see you all in September. And thank you so much for coming today. And like I said, the video will be posted on the START website by the end of the week. So if you need to refer to it, you can go back to it and get those answers. So thanks, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you in September. Bye, everyone.